Have you ever thought about Jesus as a door? Hey, welcome. I'm Sam Sessa, Senior Pastor at Resurrection Lutheran Church in Cairo, New York. It is an awesome pleasure to be with you here as we begin Holy Week. It's Monday. And if you are in the Greene County area, we'd love to have you join us for one of our Holy Week services. We have Maundy Thursday at 7 o'clock. Good Friday, 6 o'clock family, 7 o'clock traditional, and then Easter Sunday at 8:15 or 10:30 a.m. Please join us. Hey, we are going to be in John chapter 10. Now, at the end of last week, we finished all of J.A.O. Preuss's metaphors from his book, Just Words, and we still had more devotions to do during Lent. And so I thought, okay, does Preuss miss out? Where are some additional metaphors that the Bible is talking about? And is there something that both semantically connects different metaphors while also at the same time into Holy Week? And that's where we are. So we are going to do 5 sheep style, farm style, pasture style metaphors. Each of the different metaphors that we are looking at this week are somehow related to sheep. And if you're going to do sheep, you got to be in John chapter 10. So we are going to start with John chapter 10, starting in verse 7. So Jesus said to them, "Truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." Okay. Is the door. How does that better help us understand the good news of what God is doing for us in Jesus? Well, one is that Jesus is the way in which we receive what he calls here abundantly, or abundant life, or life to the full, life upon life. How do we get the very good life? We have to come in through Jesus. That Jesus is the only way to get to the Father. Elsewhere in John, Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but by me." Here, Jesus is reiterating that the only way to get to the life that you want is through himself. Now, I think our modern ears prickle at that. Our modern ears reject that because we don't want Jesus to be the only way to God. We don't want Jesus to be the exclusive means by which we can have abundant life. What is it that we want? Well, we want Jesus be just an option because we don't want to be exclusive against what our neighbors, our friends, our family members believe and do. So, Jesus, you're the only way? I think by way of analogy, if you were to understand that there was a particular disease, and for this disease there is only one antidote, only one cure, you would say to someone, you need to take this antidote, this cure for your disease. And if the person said, "No, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do my own thing," you would say, "I'm not going to help you. That's not going to save you. You need this particular cure." There's a couple of very real-life stories. I remember reading the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson. And Steve Jobs, for all of his great accomplishments, was a deeply flawed man in a lot of ways. One of the things that he believed in his life was that fruit will save you from anything. That if you eat enough healthy fruit, the fruit is going to save you. And so when Steve Jobs developed cancer, his solution initially was to fight that cancer by eating fruit. And I think Steve Jobs had a lot of great ideas in his life. I don't think that that was one of them in particular. And as the cancer progressed and got worse, eventually he turned to more traditional means of medicine. And I don't want to say that our traditional forms of medicine with chemotherapy and all the different types of radiations and cancer treatments are somehow foolproof or somehow cure every cancer. I'm not saying that. But I do think that sometimes when it comes to a really serious disease, I think I am go with a more proven winner than a holistic medicinal approach. That's just me personally. Now, we can argue the merits and the benefits of cancer treatment, drugs, and approaches and remedies. But I know for sure and for certain there is only one remedy to death, and that is Jesus Christ. And there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, I have a remedy to death. I have the way to life, in life full. But none of those other ways involve a person who died and rose from the dead. Every other great philosopher, religious teacher, prophet, all of them, Moses, Muhammad, Buddha, right? They're all dead. They died and they stayed dead. Only Jesus came back and through his resurrection showed that what he taught was actually true and that what he presented to us could actually save. The way C.S. Lewis puts it rather famously is that when Jesus makes these claims, I am the door, and the only way to abundant life is through me, he is leaving you and I without a choice. Because either he is lying, he knows that what he is saying is false, it's deceptive, he knows that he isn't what he claims, and thus is a liar, right? Or he believes what he claims, though it is demonstrably not true, in which case he is a lunatic, he's a madman, he's deluded, right? So, or could be that what he's saying is true, and he knows it's true because it is true, and then he gives us proof of that truthfulness by his very own death and resurrection, in which case he is Lord. What none of us may do is treat Jesus as merely a good teacher because he never intended us to see him that way. He has not left us that way out. And so for you, friend, as we are ramping into Holy Week, may you see Jesus as Lord, see Jesus as the door into abundant life, the beautiful, amazing life that he wants you to enjoy and find pleasure in as he richly satisfies every need in this life and the next. And I look forward to seeing you at our Holy Week services on Monday, Thursday at 7, Good Friday at 6 and 7, and Easter Sunday at 8:15 and 10:30 a.m.